Good morning and welcome to another live edition of Wealth Building Wednesday. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. In the words of my friend Sam, good morning, good people. You are tuned in and listening live, watching live to Wealth Building Wednesday. Wealth Building Wednesday is being brought to you by TRHT Selma. TRHT Selma is a partnership between the Selma Center for Nonviolence and the Black Belt Community Foundation. We are delighted to bring you this broadcast every single Wednesday. Wealth Building Wednesday airs live on Facebook and YouTube at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, as well as our audio rebroadcast with our media partner WBFZ 705.3 every single Wednesday, 1:30 in the afternoon. Y'all check us out. Again, if you are watching live, make sure that as we have this conversation with our stellar guest this morning, y'all make sure that you're dropping your questions and comments. Good morning, Miss Veronica Drake. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all make sure you like, tag, and share this video. Set your reminders because every single Wednesday, we're here live for Wealth Building Wednesday. WBW, welcome Miss Mallorie Robinson, y'all. She is an amazing graphic artist. She is an amazing person specializing in marketing and branding. And we're going to talk about the B word. Look, building, but building what? A brand. We're going to talk about branding today with Miss Mallorie Robinson. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited and nervous, but
This girl, no sweat at all. So you are the owner of a company called MallorieNoelle Designs. So who are you and what are MallorieNoelle Designs?
Okay. So I'm originally from Selma, Alabama, born and raised. I graduated from Selma High, and then I went to Clark Atlanta University where I got my computer science degree. And that is when my love for technology came about. So my senior year, I had to do a project. And so my project was to build a website for the school's financial aid office. So I built this website and I was like, I think I'm pretty good at this. I got an A, I passed the class, graduated, and I got my first job as a web developer for the city of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So my love for web design comes from my background in computer science. So I do web design, logos, business cards, anything promotional, anything to get your business out there. That's what I do. And I also do custom apparel, make shirts. So anything artsy, that's me.
And so this is an amazing opportunity for us to have a really critical conversation. For the first quarter of the year, we really talked about small business ownership and gave folks some tools. As a matter of fact, on Friday, we'll have representatives from the Small Business Association, the City of Selma. We'll have folks from the Small Business Development Center over at Alabama State University, right here in the historic city of Selma, offering free information. Now, the registration is not free because we're covering lunch, right? But we'll have those experts here. You are here because we're talking about individual branding as individuals, but also how that can impact our business. So want to just dive straight into our conversation and ask you about brands. We know that when we see the golden arches, when folks are driving down the highway, we know that that's a brand that's always familiar. If we have a check mark on a t-shirt or on some shoes, we know what that is. Brands and branding are a part of our households, right? We don't call no facial tissue. We call it Kleenex.
Right.
It's a brand, right? It's a brand thing. But now, as we consider the role of branding in our community, like how do you define branding?
So for me, branding is an image. It's your image. It's how you are perceived, how people perceive you, your reputation, how you handle things. When someone says MallorieNoelle Designs, that's my brand. I want people to think of positive characteristics and traits that define, my brand. So it's pretty much your image and how people perceive you, but we are responsible for how people perceive us. So we need to, work on our own brands.
Okay. So now when it comes to individuals, right? And like what you were saying is like, what is our, I hear you asking the question, what is your brand, right? Because when people hear MallorieNoelle Designs, you want people to say, oh, she's a reliable, this is a reliable company. This is a company that produces work in a timely manner, right? Great customer service, great response times. But as individuals, how can we, or what does branding feel like as a person? Because what happens if you don't have a company, but do you still carry a brand?
Okay, this is my favorite quote I love. It says, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you make others feel is your trademark. So you have to brand yourself like a business. People today are attracted to energies, good vibes. If I see like you're not doing good in the community, you're putting negative things out there, like I'm not going to be attracted to you or want to share my interests, like-minded people with you, because it's negative. So I always kind of use that quote to say, brand yourself like a business.
I love that. Can you say that for us again? Like that is, I've never heard that, and I love that quote.
Is your smile is your logo,
Okay.
your personality is your business card, and how you make others feel is your trademark. So
All
people are
right.
gonna know you by that. How you make
All
others
right.
feel.
Let's take note of that, right? Because sometimes, there are some of us who have mastered this resting face, right?
Right, right.
but the lack of a smile can actually impact people's willingness to receive us. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's an important note, even mental note for me, because I just sometimes I'm thinking, in fact, most times, it's not even sometimes, most times I'm thinking outside of the space that I'm in. And so that quote actually makes me reflect personally on the value of living in the moment.
Yes. Like your smile to me is the first thing that people see.
That's
And
right.
if you're a business owner and you want to connect with people, if you have that resting face, you're unapproachable to me. I want somebody that's gonna make me feel comfortable, somebody that's authentic and genuine. And I know that you have good positive vibes and spirits by that smile on your face.
Absolutely. So great information. So now, how do we, and this ties great into the next question, how can having a personal brand that evokes positivity, productivity, good vibes, if you will, how can that be valuable to us?
Well, the most valuable thing is networking and collaborating. So you want to
Mm,
be just go back to that, go back to having positive energy and positive vibes. You can't do everything alone. Number one, you can't do things by yourself. You need help. You need people, that's going to be there to support you. So you can't run them away. You gotta have positive things and positive values about yourself. And I feel like that's gonna help people want to be around you, want to collaborate with you, want to share interests with you.
And so now I'm loving the fact that you're mentioning the importance of a network. Right. We hear a lot of times, especially in smaller communities, where it's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, I say especially in small communities because we're based here in Selma, Alabama, but even in Atlanta, Chicago, Philadelphia, regardless of where you are, it's not necessarily what you know, but who you know. And increasing that network is so very important. I've heard many people, coaches, in fact, business and personal coaches say things like your net worth is connected to your network.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, how important is it for you to have that? You said the logo of the smile to make yourself approachable, right?
And make people want to do business with you, or not even just business, but even want to do life with you. You can,
Okay, come on, do life with you.
you know,
Wait a minute. Are we single because we don't smile? Look. Okay.
but not just relationship wise, but friends as well,
Right.
family as well. Because I really feel like if you have negative energy, that's draining,
Mm.
and you can't serve from an empty cup. So
Mm.
you have to have people there that's going to be able to help you along the way. I truly believe that you cannot serve from an empty cup. So when it's your time to rest, you need someone that's reliable that can pick up your slack for you. Whether it's business or life. So that's how it come. Networking and collaborating is very important and not running people away.
Absolutely. Again, want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning. You're tuned in and watching live or listening to Wealth Building Wednesday. Our guest today is Miss Mallorie Robinson of MallorieNoelle Designs. You can check her out on the web. We'll drop that web address right here on the live video in the comments. If you are listening in or you're watching live and you want to type in a comment or have a question, please feel free to do so. Want to talk about we started talking about the impact of negative vibes, right? So now what about a personal brand that seems to focus on negativity? How can that be harmful to us as individuals and even as a community?
Well, I hate to go back to like the bad energies, but
Mm-hmm.
it's draining. Like no one is gonna want to. Okay, so if I come to your online today, your reputation is online pretty much. It's your online
Mm-hmm.
profile. If I come to your Facebook or your Twitter, any type of social media, and every day is just mess or depressing, or you're going off on somebody, and then you have a business, I'm not gonna want to. I see how you handle things in your personal affairs. I'm not gonna want to go the business route with you. So I'm learning that everything that comes to your mind, you don't always have to share. You don't always have to share, whether you want to say it or not. But you can't push potential business people away, big clients away from you. So just kind of be careful about. And that's not even just social media, but even in the community.
Mm.
Like if you're not doing good things in the community, I'm not gonna want to be associated with you, or no one is gonna want to be associated with you or doing, business with you.
I'm so glad that you made the point of bringing this around to social media and how we present ourselves, because I'm not really sure that a lot of folks understand just how connected our personal and our business can be. Because just as you said, you've learned, listen, my mom used to tell me, you have to have tact sometimes, and just because it comes up here doesn't mean it has to come out here.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that we have to, this, see, I'm older than you. So I grew up in a time where we didn't have like Facebook and we weren't instantly like on Twitter and things like that as younger folks, right? So it shouldn't necessarily be the natural tendency to express all of that right on social media, but it is for a lot of the social. Facebook be therapy, honey, for some people.
And
But
I'm just like me sharing back in the day, like so social media didn't come around until like I was in college. So the audience that I talk my problems out with were my friends. And it's like
mm-hmm.
now you have the world that you're sharing your information to, and that's a little nerve-wracking for me. So as far as when it comes to your personal things and sharing everything, and I always tell my younger kids who are interested in anything science, technology, engineering, and math, make sure that your social media accounts reflect like positive things, because
Yes.
once you post it out there, the internet is forever. I don't care
Yes.
if you post something and you delete it. I promise you, it take 1 second to screenshot.
Yep.
1 second to screenshot. And just going into a technical thing, behind the scenes databases, yeah, you can delete something from the front end of that website, but in the back end and the databases, your data is still there. It is not gone.
Right.
Anything you post on the internet is forever. Forever. So I just want people to be careful, with that too. You think you're deleting something, I promise you about 10 people done already screenshot it in 5 seconds.
I'm so glad you said that, Mallorie, because when I think about all of the presentations I've done, especially over the last like 2 or 3 years, and talking to folks about that very thing, that literally human resource departments at most of our major corporations have a person, if not a whole department within their department, that is dedicated to doing just what you're talking about, going through and finding people's social media presence,
Right.
even the pages we think that we're hiding from folks.
Okay. Yeah. Like
And it
big
becomes a part of our brand.
Right. And big companies like that have partnerships with Facebook and Twitter. And like they can research whatever it is. If you're trying to get a job somewhere, I promise you that company has a partnership with Facebook where they can go and research and scrub your Facebook profile to see if you're going to fit their company.
Absolutely. So y'all make note, if you are in the job market and your social media doesn't match that stellar resume, you better go through there. Like, at least like the stuff now,
The
right?
surface stuff.
Right, because it will continue to be there, but at least make it hard to get to so the companies
Right.
can say, okay, at least there's an effort here for
Right.
this person to try to have a better public presence, because as we've seen all too often in the last couple of years, stuff can come back to haunt you. So companies don't want to be, to bring on board folks with a bad brand, a
Right.
negative brand.
Right.
So now, what about folks who are small business owners? Are there some strategies that we should avoid when it comes to advertising or branding our products and services?
Okay, the main thing that everyone should avoid, big small business owners, is don't combine your social media accounts. So if you
Mm,
have a business, that needs to have its own social media account, and your personal needs to have its own social media account. Because let's just say someone is on Google and they're searching for your products and services, they're gonna just see everything you did last weekend and last month at the beach. They're not gonna see your products or your services. So you want to make sure that you separate those social media accounts. My second thing would be is don't join the hype. I know entrepreneurship is like what's popping right now, but don't launch too early if you're not ready. Like make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Invest in yourself. Like starting a business is, you have to have money, you have to have capital, so you don't really want to go the cheap route because you want people to think that you are credible. So I just say don't join the hype, don't just launch so early or get out there because that's what's everybody doing. Learn your target audience. Like, who are you trying to research your target audience? Who are you trying to sell these things, these products and services to? Who are you trying to appeal to? You don't want to just jump out there and don't know your target audience. So don't join the hype. Don't launch too early, and definitely separate your social media accounts.
So, the separation of social media accounts is super important, but not launching too early. Let's talk about that just for a second, because market analysis is one thing that you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
right? When it comes to launching too early,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that there's actually a need that you are addressing with your company as you're developing, because if you're developing your brand, you want to be addressing something,
Right.
right? So what's the point? Like, who are you? What's the mission of your business? Are there already 12 different
Right.
chicken restaurants in
Right.
in
You need to
business?
research your competition. See what you can offer better than they're offering.
Okay. And that's great information, because as folks are considering their needs, the needs of their community where they want to start a business, like you said, not launching too early, making sure that you're doing that research, that you're doing some market analysis to know that, okay, there is a space for me here and
Mm-hmm.
I can be profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because when we haul off, may have a beautiful logo, honey. Call MallorieNoelle Designs, get your beautiful logo. But if you don't have the products on hand, and you have a social media,
And
come on now.
that takes me back to joining the hype. Make sure if you want to start this business, you're doing it because you're passionate about it.
Yes.
Not because you want to take cute Instagram pictures and cute Facebook pictures and get likes. Like that's not what business is about, getting likes on Instagram. It's about actually implementing what what you're passionate about.
Absolutely. So now, if you were in this moment about to start a business from scratch,
Mhm.
what would be the first three things you would do to brand your business effectively?
Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to make sure my business is established legitimately. And what I mean by that
Mm,
is I'm going to register my business with whichever state I'm doing business out of. So I'm going to get a business license for it. I'm going to get my LLC. I'm going to get my EIN. I'm going to get my business bank accounts. Because like when you're just say, you're going for grants or loans for your business, when those companies or the government tries to go and search to see if you're legitimate, that is a part of your brand. So and that's going to make you credible. Like people know that you're serious about your business. So number one would be establish it legitimately. The second thing would be is to get a business email. I've been preaching this for so long now. I know Gmail and Yahoo, all of that is free and it's easy to do, but you need to invest in a domain name and a business email. It's like $12. Google offer it for
mhm.
$12. And that's just gonna make you like more credible. Say your main target audience may be okay with Gmail and your Yahoo email address, but when you're trying to go global and you're reaching people around the world, you want people to know that you're serious. So I definitely say invest in a business email and a domain name, and your domain name is your .com. So mine is MallorieNoelleDesigns.com. That is my domain name. I use my domain name as a part of my business email, which is info@MallorieNoelleDesigns.com. And like I said, Google offers that for $12 a month. I think you definitely should get on that if you're a business owner. And then, okay, establish the business legitimately, business email, and you need an online presence. And the online presence is websites, social media, logos, promotional graphics. I try to tell people I'm a web designer. So your website is like your main hub of information. I know people like to go do social media account because it's free, but you need
Mhm.
to invest in a website, and you want to take your social medias are like the branches from your website. Your website is your main hub of information. This is where you want to drive people to, because you can talk more on social media. You can say like a little caption and a picture, but on your website, people are able to purchase things from you 24/7. Just think if you had a brick and mortar store, it's going to close at 9 or it's going to close at 7. But with the
Mhm.
website, you can sell your products 24/7, like while you're asleep. So I definitely say have an online presence. Start with that website, then get your social medias to branch off of that website, and then make sure you got a nice logo. You got promotional graphics, you got business cards, anything that's going to get you out there and seen.
All right now, so I'm trying to keep up with her and all of these great tips that she is offering us today. You are listening and tuned in live to Wealth Building Wednesday. Folks are truly enjoying the conversation. Our guest today is Ms. Mallorie Robinson. We are delighted to have her. She is the owner and lead designer at MallorieNoelle Designs. So if you do need a logo, if you want assistance with creating your online presence, whether it's an online store or you just want to have a landing page for folks, you want to make sure that you check her out at MallorieNoelleDesigns.com. Mallorie, listen, so now what about as an individual?
Okay.
Right. We talked about the business, the three things. So
Okay.
as an individual, what are three things you think that we can do today to brand or maybe even ourselves to produce the desired positive outcomes?
Okay. My first one is grow. So
Mm,
I need to grow mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. I'm in my 30s, and I think about things like situations that I will handle now and resolve. I didn't resolve them like that in my 20s. So I'm
mhm.
pretty sure when I get to 40, I'm not going to handle and resolve things like I did in my 30s, because I'm always growing and growing wiser. So I think everybody should rebrand with every 10 years. I mean, that's just automatically, naturally. You're going to grow, you're going to get wiser. So my first thing would be to grow. That's how you're going to rebrand yourself. My second thing is to continue to learn,
Mm.
continue to network, continue to collaborate with people, just learn, read. Then my third thing would be to rebrand yourself. Okay, I got four things. Okay. The third one would be to, if you need to scrub your social media of any, kind of negative content, do that. Start over. I might even do that. Like I might just delete all my social medias and start over. You control how people perceive you,
Mhm.
So if I want to come back with a whole new narrative, you know, that's my prerogative. So, and then the third thing would be is to get involved, like get involved in the community. I feel like that's how you can brand and rebrand yourself. Like get involved in some organizations who are doing good things. Get involved in networking events, like just get involved, get your face out there. And so I feel like those are things that help you brand yourself and rebrand.
So now, if you happen to not catch those, you can check them out in the comments, making sure that we make reading and learning a part of our daily habits. We also, she mentioned, y'all, make sure that we're growing every single day, right? That's something that, oh, Lord, growth is so important. It
Yeah.
is so important. And people if need to be able to see and feel that, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's in how, like you said, in your 20s, you solve problems in a different way than you solve them today in your 30s.
Mhm.
Same here, right? We should
Mhm.
all be able to say, look back 10 years ago and, thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Okay.
Whoo, baby.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
But I'm not making those same decisions.
Right.
I'm not doing the same things that were being done, right? Because growth is a monumental way to rebrand yourself. Scrubbing, honey, scrubbing that internet, listen, looking for any negative posts. If you are constantly reposting stuff that has nothing to do with you, that is mess. Look,
Scrub it. Scrub it. My whole thing is, and I'm learning this for myself. It's like, okay, Mallory, like, who are you trying to show out for? Like, who are you trying to make know that you're so hard and you're so this and that? Like, who do these people pay your bills? Do they give you? I'm just saying, like, on the personal aspect, when you're doing these things, you getting caught up in the hype in social media. Like, I don't have anything to prove, to anyone.
mhm.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just you drive your own narrative. You drive your own narrative.
What a great way to summarize the conversation. You drive your own narrative.
Mhm.
So if you want people to respond to you in a positive way, if you are a person who is constantly giving, right? And but nobody can tell, right? Because what they see on social media is the constant turn up.
Okay.
That don't go together. Y'all make it make sense for the people, right?
I don't have time to really do my stuff that I requested.
right, right. Especially if you are a business owner, right?
Right.
Because, honey, listen, I have this one friend who has a business, and I'm telling you, I am on this rascal like white on rice. I'm like, listen, this lady is calling me, and I don't have anything to do with what has happened. Will you please send her merchandise? And see,
Okay.
you are consistently on your personal page traveling and carrying. I'm like, oh my God, don't do
Seriously. And that's why it's important to have your business social media account and your
Yes.
personal social media account. And you can limit to what you share on your personal account. You may like to I love to travel now. I like to go out the country sometimes. But I'm
Right.
just not gonna be sharing it, constantly all the time. Like you don't have to share everything. That's what I
Right.
want us to realize. Like we don't have to share everything. I always say technology, it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift because it allows us to connect. I love that we can connect with anybody, anytime, anywhere. I love
Mhm.
that about social media and
Yeah.
technology. Like that is the gift. If there's something that I need an answer to, I can open my phone up, go in the browser, search it, find it in a minute. I love
Yeah.
that. But the curse of it is we share too much. We overshare way too much. It can be
Yeah.
harmful. The things that we do share, yeah, it's a gift and a curse.
Absolutely. And we just got to learn how to use that gift, right? And not let it curse us.
Right, you're right. You gotta learn how to use it.
Absolutely, because whatever we put out is truly going to come back. The Bible tells us that, and many other, principles are out there. Karma, whatever you put out is going to come
Come
right
back.
back to
I
us. So,
believe that.
um, If your Facebook page is full of mess, then we can't be shocked that life is a mess, right?
Okay.
So, Mallorie, I just want to thank you so much for your time. You will definitely be welcomed back as a guest here on Wealth Building Wednesday. You are pouring into our lives, look, helping us to grow. People saying amen. Listen, as we have been conversing, and that this was a great session. So, we want to say good morning to everyone who is tuned in. Good afternoon if you're listening live on WBFZ 105.3. Make sure you check us out each and every Wednesday, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time from 10 a.m. until 10:30 on Facebook and on YouTube. And listen in to the audio, the rebroadcast on WBFZ 105.3, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, thank you, Miss Robinson.
You're welcome. I really, really enjoyed this. Thank you for having me on. We have to connect offline.
Yes, absolutely. So look forward to having you back and want you to have a wonderful weekend, wonderful Father's Day celebrate, and Juneteenth.
Yes.
Come on
Well,
through Juneteenth.
we get off Monday. I don't have to go to work.
Yes. Look, and let's celebrate it like we do the 4th.
Okay.
Let me just drop that right there.
Okay.
All right. So y'all have a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you right here for Wealth Building Wednesday next Wednesday, 10 o'clock, live on Facebook and on YouTube.